Geek-ish Chat. I'm Shirley.
Christy, what's good?
What's good? And we are here to review the new show on Netflix. It is based on a lot of books.
Shadow and Bone.
Shadow and Bone. That is the show. And yes, we are here to review it. Welcome. This is Geek-ish Chat. If you haven't watched us before, we review movies, books, and TV. Oh my god, I forgot about TV almost. Like TV. And we're just about to talk about a TV series.
So thank you for joining us today. I want to thank our new subscribers, Steven and Popcorn Passport. He's also a movie review channel dude. And so check him out.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
for subscribing.
Thank you for
Subscribe
subscribing.
to us.
And this is your first time coming to watch our show. Watch the show. Hope you like it.
So let's get into our review of Shadow and Bone. Oh my god, did I say it right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Yo, I've been messing up like the titles. Me and Chrissy, we used to, when we were about to watch the show, we used to call this a different names and we were like, what? So there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of books. I don't know how many. There's like 3 in the main Shadow and Bone trilogy, and then there's like 2 in another trilogy, or no, 2 in a duology or something like that. I think that's how you say 2 books. So there's a lot, and I think there's more. So there's like a lot of lore and stuff. So I did not know anything of these books. Aside from that, it's a popular YA, which is youth adult novels. If you don't know what YA is. And they're very popular YA novels. So aside from that, I didn't know much. And like the only actor I knew was Ben Barnes because I watched what was those movies that he was in that you were shocked that was him and you were like, what, that's him?
Prince Caspian
from the Narnia films. Yeah, movies, thank you. So and so he you know, he had a really bad Spanish accent in that movie. He was cute. He still acts kind of the same. So it's just kind of sorry, I was just being honest. So I already knew that. But me and Christy were like, let's just watch it. You know, it's a popular series. We know nothing about it. I didn't even read anything of the synopsis or anything, and we just jumped into it like whatever. So here it goes. Plot. It's following the main young woman called Alina, and she is a map maker, but she has special powers, and the people who have special powers in this universe are called Grishas. Oh, Grishas. The people who have special powers are called Grishas. And so she finds out, because she's always didn't want to get tested, because they test you to see if you're a Grisha and stuff, that you have powers. And she finds out later, of course, that she has powers and stuff. And so there's this fold in the middle of the land of the west and east, Rafka, which is the land, I guess, one of the parts.
So the country is called Rafka.
Yeah, the country is called Rafka, I believe, and there's little like places, other places as well, not little places, but other places, other countries. Thank you. And so there's the fold, and the fold is scary and it's dark and it's got monsters called Volcra. Winged creatures, and there's the Darkling, who's the general of one of the armies, the Grisha army, I think it's called. They fight for the king, because a lot of the Grishas have to fight for the king. All of them mostly, they're forced to, like, you know, be a hand and foot on the king and stuff like that, and the crown and all that. So aside from that, that's all I got. Oh, and there's this group of criminals who are, you know, they don't get nothing done, but they're dumb. They don't get nothing done, but they are really charismatic, and they're kind of funny, and I like them. I liked them out of the whole show. But aside from that, and I think they're called the Crows, and I think that's where the 2 books of the other in the Grisha verse comes from and stuff. So yeah. Yeah, that's the plot. Okay.
That was the best we can do.
That's the best we can do, because I'm gonna be
safe now. Tell me what happened in the fall. What saved you?
You won't believe me, but it was a sun summoner.
I'm gonna be honest.
But okay,
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I did not know what the hell was going on in the show. I was so confused because there's a lot of words and terms. Of course, if you don't know the universe, you're gonna be like, hey, like, you know, if you never read the book or anything like that, you're just not gonna understand it, right? So we were new to this, so I don't know.
Yeah, what kind of genre would you call this? Fantasy?
It's fantasy.
Right? Okay.
It's fantasy.
For real, it is. And so for me, I felt like it was a cross between, like, especially the Grisha. They were like, they had powers they were like a cross between X-Men and the Brotherhood of Mutants, which is like, if you know the Brotherhood of Mutants, they're on the side of Magneto. So they're kind of villainish in a sense.
I could see that.
So I think that the story it's a YA book, so it's a, you know, it has this whole world building that's kind of like complex. If you don't read it, you'll probably be totally lost. What helped us was the
Like me.
captions on the bottom.
Oh, I
because
put captions. I can't hear that good.
All the names were just really, I don't know, just weird to like grasp on. But we had to like, you know, keep on watching to make sure that we got the names right.
I was so confused.
Because it was like the Grisha, the different countries.
And then the terms of like all the different powers that Grisha
have.
Yeah. The magical people that the Grishas, that they have. Yeah.
It was complicated.
It was complicated. I was like, okay.
I have to say, it took me a couple of episodes to really get intrigued. Although the first episode was a little interesting and it captured me when we found out that, you know, the Fold is like this, like you said, misty, dark place, and that they were waiting, like a legend, they were waiting for the Sun Summoner, which is a person that can actually end the Fold, and, you know,
because they give out this beam of light.
Which
the Volcra will die because that beam of light like distinguishes them, I guess.
Distinguishes them, which are, and they're like these creatures that are attacking the humans crossing the Fold.
Yeah.
And I found out that, you know, in the story you get the understanding of why it's important
who created the Fold.
Who created the Fold, but why it's important for
the
the people to actually cross the Fold instead of, you know, because they need to go across the Fold to the west so they can get supplies and trade because they're by the port. Right. And they can't go around the Fold because the countries surrounding the Fold are actually, they're at kind of war with them. Yeah, so it's really complex in that sense of understanding the story premise. And there's interesting themes in this. Definitely like the indentured servants, which kind of like the Grisha are in a sense. When they, at early age, they're tested to see if they're Grisha. And once they find out, they are sent automatically to the king.
To the little palace.
Yeah, right? To the palace. And to be indentured service and serve the king for whatever they need. And then there's also the women who are also like one of the characters is an indentured servant, which is part of the Crow crew.
Yeah.
Right.
Ignace, I think that's her name. She was my favorite character, actually, because I actually connected to her story.
Yeah.
I want to learn more about her. I hope we learn more about her.
Yeah, she was like a bird, slash, I don't even know. She was like, because
she was jumping and she was landing throughout. She was like in the shadows and she was like,
she had all these knife skills. She was pretty sweet. I have to say, aside from Alina being the main character, and
I liked Alina by the end because she started learning. She was young and she started learning like, hey, wait a second, this general guy, the Darkling, he ain't cool. He's abusive. He's manipulating. That's the thing about this show.
It's about
manipulating people, especially women, and abusing them, gaslighting them. It's a lot of that. Who's your enemy? Who's your friend? And they all could be enemies and friends. You don't even know. You can't even trust anybody, really.
So the two, like, I guess more like heartfelt characters are Alina, who's also, as you'll see from the first episode, she's a Sun Summoner. And then Mel, which is her childhood friend. And they're still best friends. They both grew up in the orphanage together. So their connection is very sweet and endearing to watch in the show. And I really liked it. And then Alina's connection to the general, who later we found out is someone else, is the controlling, manipulating part. But we see her character develop as the show goes on, and it's an interesting development. And I think that for me, watching her develop was really interesting, because in the beginning I was like, yo, what's wrong with this girl? Anyways, and then the Crow Crew, which is probably
my favorite part. I think they hold the show together.
Intriguing as far as character, because they have all these unique quirks to them, and their character, their personalities. So Jasper is definitely.
Serious,
I love his costume. First of all, the costumes in the show are pretty awesome.
They're good.
Yeah,
Costumes are good.
I didn't really pay attention to the score, the music at all. It didn't stand out to me, but it was, it was a typical kind of period era fantasy music type.
Is
thing.
this supposed to be I read up, and this is technically supposed to be the Russian type of set, kind of almost like the Russian Empire.
Yeah.
But of course in its own universe, not like our universe. And I was like, yeah, because the names and all that stuff.
Exactly.
You're like, oh, okay. That was it. The special effects was okay. I mean, it's, it was fine. And the beginning and middle was, intriguing. Confusing as hell, though. Middle got kind of slow, a little slow. By the end, I thought the ending, I thought it was good.
It sealed the deal for me. Meaning,
yeah, it was good.
Meaning that I probably will definitely watch season 2 if they come up with it. I'm not sure if they are.
They probably will.
But yeah, and then another thing that I saw in the show was a racial prejudice against specifically Alina, because she is part Shuhan, which is I guess an Asian country. In a sense, I don't know. They don't necessarily say that, but there's imagery that shows kind of that they are. So
right, yeah,
and you can see it in the character too, that she looks part Asian. So that's also in the show.
Yeah, and racism and stuff,
which they don't really resolve in the show at all.
Of course, they don't.
So maybe in the second season they will, but as far as women being controlled, that continues on throughout the show.
Oh, a lot.
And not really resolved either. But
yeah,
aside from that, it was an entertaining show as far as it grew and developed throughout the episodes. So definitely, if you have time, check it out. If you're into fantasy, definitely check it out.
Yeah, if you're into fantasy or YA, and you like just fun shows, then check it out. They do bring topics that are serious. They just don't really go into it that much, of course. I don't know. I had fun. I liked it, even though I didn't understand most of it.
Right, again,
but that is
captions.
That's why I just gotta read the Wikipedia, not the Wikipedia. Well, maybe that, just to make it easy for me, understand what's going on. It's just just remind yourself that it's gonna be new information and all that stuff when you watch it.
Right. And a lot of terms. If you like this review, please give us a like. We're trying to reach a certain number of subscribers. So if you found our show to be very interesting as far as movie reviews and kind of what we talk about, and if you want to engage us, definitely comment below. But subscribe. It would be great. We're at 201. Thanks again to Steven and Popcorn.
Thank you
for the subscription, for subscribing to our show. And our goal is 500. So if you can help us to get to 500, if you love movies, I'm setting the goal high. Definitely click on that bell to get notified of future videos. We typically try to we've been doing videos almost every week, so come along for the ride.
When we're not depressed.
When we don't got anxiety.
Oh yes, it is the Mental Health Awareness Month.
Right, and so we're going to be doing an episode about films that you can watch to comfort yourself.
Oh, I watched a lot.
Yeah.
For myself. So thanks for watching our review of Shadow of Bone. It is on Netflix. Have a great year. No, have a great week, month, year.
Yes. Peace. We out of here.